Good afternoon, traders. It's just a few minutes after the market opened here, but I'm already done trading. Unfortunately, I was not able to take a trade, but what happened with the charts that I chose to look for trades on, the way they worked out, I was basically kicked out of trading for the day, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. It's all part of my plan. So I would have loved to finish the market open test trading today. We're 99 out of 100 trades into it. I was hoping for a one and done day. That would have been great, but that just didn't happen. And the most important thing is to stick to the plan all the way to the end, not rush into a trade just so that I could finish this thing up and get on with something else. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So we're looking at my screener right now. That's my mid cap screener. Always click those three dots, click on modify. And we're looking at this live. This is not a video that I'm playing back and talking over. So I organized the list by volume. And this was not up there, and I can tell you why, because you see how it's just now creeping into the $1.5 billion market cap. So this wasn't there, so I'm not even going to look at that. But let's see what was. So TIGR is up 10%, but that's I think it's below the 200 daily moving average. So that takes it off the list. Same thing with Root, or it doesn't have a 200 moving average on the daily chart. Wish, same thing. CLF, that wasn't there. Let's see. So U.S. Steel, I looked at after play. So the Dave & Buster's stock, that was the one that I was focusing on originally at the open. So let's take a look at that chart. And once that one failed, which I did not take a trade on, but once that one failed, then I switched to U.S. Steel to see if there was a play there that didn't already happen, and one did. So I'll show you all that stuff right now. So let's take a look at the chart. So here's U.S. Steel, obviously taking off, and I'll show you the entry that I missed on that one in just a moment. But let's go with what I started with first. So play, and look, this is why I did not take a trade on it. So when I opened up this chart, it was just taking off, ripping at the open, and what I have to see in order to take an entry is a break through the previous session high, and that was established right before the market opened. So obviously the stock opened and it continued on higher. So I was just waiting for the first pullback to take an entry, and you could see that it pulled back all the way down to a very conservative bottom of my ABCD pattern. So what I did was right at the open, I was, again, like I said, waiting for that pullback, but trying to figure out where should I define the ABCD pattern, because obviously, the very first candle of the open, if I put the bottom there, it seems like it's a little bit shallow because things kind of took off in the pre-market. So I went back a little bit further on the pre-market chart, and there was an obvious level of support right here at this 38.98 that I determined before this happened. I decided, okay, if this level gets broken as this thing pulls back, I do not want to take an entry here because this thing is a lot weaker than it appears to be. And that ended up being the case. And you could see that if I did not have that defined as the bottom of the ABCD pattern, if I say took the first entry, which would have been right here, I would have been stopped out on that trade. This thing may turn around right now, but this would be a reversal play, and that is not something that I trade, because more often than not, they go like this right here, where you get triggered and then you get flushed out, and that can happen multiple times. So that is not part of my strategy. So once that happened, once this level was broken, which happened around 937, I decided to take a look at another stock again, because I do want to finish this plan up. And I thought, well, as long as something meets my criteria 100% and hasn't already made a 2-hour trade without me, then I'll take a look. So here is U.S. Steel. So when I pulled it up, it was pulling back, I think, on this red candle right here. So I already realized there was an entry that I missed, which happened right here. So you could see how the top of this candle is lower than this one. So that's a pullback, even though it's a green candle. And my ideal entry would have been for the break of that candle. So this candle I'm hovering over right now is 26.23. So my ideal entry would have been 26.24. And then my stop loss would have been the low of the previous candle, which is the same as the low of the current candle. So I punched that into my 2-hour calculator, which I think I just already closed. So let me pull that back up and show you why I was not able to take the trade. So let's punch in the ideal entry. which we could have very well have gotten slippage on, but that's what we wanted to get was 26.24, and then the low was 26.15, so our stop loss would have been 26.14. And oh, actually, it looks like I made a mistake while I was trading live. I could have taken this entry. So, this kind of thing happens. You're seeing this live, so I'm kind of learning what really happened this morning as I go. But obviously, I had this ideal entry marked out. What I did wrong when I was trading in the live session was I looked at the low of the candle and I said that was my stop loss. I can tell because I know how these numbers worked out and I know where the high of this candle is. So I remember now that I put in 26.15. Watch what happens when I do that. It gives me a profit target of 26.42, and that is why I stopped trading when I did. Now looking back, that was a mistake, but that's all part of day trading. So here's why I stopped trading when I did was my profit target was 26.42, and you could see here the high of this candle. If you look over here on that H, when I hover over this candle, it says 26.42. So that means that if I would have taken this trade and set my stop loss at 26.15, then my 2-hour profit target was already hit, and it was hit without me. So the trade happened without me. When that happens, then I just stop trading for the day, and that's all written into my plan. And the reason for that is because when you miss a trade, you get frustrated. And what happens when you get frustrated? You're likely to take bad trades or less than ideal setups or break your plan or something like that. And the number one goal with my trading is to stick to my plan 100% of the time, never break it. Otherwise, my results have no meaning whatsoever. So I thought I was sticking to the plan, but obviously when I was trading live there, I did make a mistake with my stop loss. But again, that's all part of trading. And unfortunately, this stock took off without me. Again, you're going to miss more opportunities than you get when you're trading. So this is just a good example and a very candid situation here for me. So had I done this properly, let's see what could have happened. So the stop loss should have been 26.14. So in that case, I would have seen that the 2-hour profit target was 26.44, which had not been hit yet because the high of this is 26.42. So that means that I could have entered the trade on the next pullback. So that would have been for the break of this candle. So this candle here has a high of 26.36. So my ideal entry would have been 26.37. So we'll punch that in now and see what the trade how the trade would have worked out. 26.37 and the low is 26.29. So my stop loss would have been 26.28. And it has to be, in this case, the low of the candle that I entered on because it's lower than the previous candle. And that's all part of my plan. So the profit target in that case would have been 26.55. Did it get hit? Almost certainly right here on this second candle, it got hit near the top of the candle, I think. Let's see. Yeah, on this wick. So either the profit target would have been hit on this candle, or if this just kind of went up really fast and didn't get filled, you would have definitely gotten filled on this candle here, and it would have been a nice 2-hour trade. Unfortunately, I missed that. And again, that's going to happen sometime. So I just wanted to share with you while this is very fresh in my mind. And the good news is, that I didn't lose any money today and I didn't lose any trades today. So that's always good. But unfortunately, I missed easy trade here on U.S. Steel. So again, it's going to happen. Got to get used to it if you're going to be in this for the long run. And the worst thing you could do is start to revenge trade and try to, okay, let me just try to find the next opportunity because I missed out on this one. I think more often than not, you're going to end up red on a day like that. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions about these trades I did not take and about the trading plan or anything like that. And I'll get back to you in the comment section below. As always, go into every single trade with a plan. Stick to that plan no matter what. If the trade happened without you, I would strongly suggest just walking away. There's always another day. There's always another opportunity the next day. Come back fresh, give it another shot, and you probably will be trading with a much more clear mind. So always take your stop losses, honor your profit targets, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.